And share, definitely share on YouTube. Let your friends know what's going on. They can check out all the live interviews that we have. Click on live and you'll see the plethora of interviews started from way back on Monday.
Share it on Facebook, share it on Instagram, share, copy the link. And we are real deal. We are upstate New York, so we know all too well how it is upstate. And we got a great here, fullback for the Detroit Lions. Man, I'm telling you, I almost didn't want to go here because, my man, it was a tough game, and the 49ers, they're in their building. But Jason Cabinda, fullback for the Detroit Lions. After that tough game, how you doing, Jason?
I'm solid, bro. I'm good. I appreciate you guys having me on, man.
Absolutely. Fullback is a position that not a lot of teams have. It seems like a lot of those physical great teams, the Dolphins have just incorporated with the Shanahan system, obviously.
Dying breed.
Dying breed, but it's a needed breed.
It's critical.
Last four teams in the postseason have all been, having that. So how do you feel about the fullback position and its importance to the game?
Well, I think anytime you have a certain personnel grouping that can dictate to the defense what they come out in, I think it can be important, especially for a coordinator, being able to know what the defense is going to come out in and being able to put yourself in a position where you know what to expect. So I think that's what the most value out of 21 personnel and having a fullback out there is you're going to get base defense, and you can scheme from there. So I think from a schematic aspect, it's important. And then, I think our game right now is in a dire place in terms of, I think it's getting softer, and I think you're going to start to see that transition. We've gotten super pass heavy as of recently, a lot of speed, a lot of open space, all that kind of stuff. And I think you're going to see the cycle of football go back to that old school I formation. Okay, now we got a lot of linebackers who are hybrids or smaller, can cover now. Okay, now you'll see the fullbacks come back and smash them up the middle again.
So that's what happened. Buffalo played Dallas. You just saying, it's a circle. And I was shocked to see teams have a linebacker so small. The Bills linebacker, Terrell Bernard, small. He got run over many times. He couldn't finish the season. He's a good guy. Good. Marquise Bell got run over. Oh man, the Bills just he still got cleat marks on that jersey. I don't think he could get him off of that jersey after the Bills, the way they ran over him and punished him in that game. And you guys did the same thing when you played him in the regular season game there. So I think it's evolved back to the running game. It's like with the fullbacks. The Bills use their fullback. Detroit uses their fullback. And there's several other teams. Denver was using a fullback. So I think it's really evolved already back to a running game.
100%. Because as you start to bring linebackers that can cover, and you're so worried about the pass game, now it's okay. Can they still fill that B gap, that A gap? Can they still set the edge on the outside and maintain their run gaps and stuff like that? So,
how did working with Dan Campbell, being his mentality, how's that for you?
Dan's awesome, man. I think I speak for everybody in that building when I say, we absolutely love Dan and what he brings to us. And Dan is such a consistent dude. He's such a consistent leader. He's a leader of men. Your prototypical football coach that you'd want, the type that leads like an army general. That's how he goes about his business. So that's a guy that we run through a brick wall for, and he motivates us every single day and inspires us to be our best selves. And he brings that juice every single day. He's the same guy every day.
After the playoff loss, what was the feeling in the locker room of the players after that game, or even the next day?
Just letting everyone down. Letting Dan down. All of us all had maybe mistakes that we made or things that we could have changed. But, for storylines to be, about Dan's fourth down calls and stuff like that, I'm the type of guy where if we have a sword, I'm going to live and die by the sword.
Okay.
If that's who we've been and that's how we've gotten there, then I have no issues with the fact that we stuck in it when times got tough. That's how I am. I don't like the type of coach who's going to dibble and dabble into who he wants to be today and who he's going to be tomorrow. I like a guy where I know exactly who's going to be in any given situation. Absolutely. And that's what Dan is. So
absolutely.
He started your career in Oakland, and then going to Detroit, being there for the last 6 years, I believe. Now, can you tell me about how important this season was to the city of Detroit, being able to get those playoff victories and almost clinch your way to the Super Bowl?
Yeah, it was huge. In hindsight, right now, we may be really mad about it, and obviously it's a really tough pill to swallow, being that we got that close to the Super Bowl. But I think when time passes and we do look back, we're gonna recognize the season as a special one, and I'll never forget what that stadium sounded like in that first freaking home game. And just I didn't grow up as a Michigan native, so I didn't have that angst of that 20-30 year buildup, and to be able to be in that stadium and experience what it felt like to feel that energy of people who have been waiting literally their entire lives for that moment.
Yeah.
And to be able to feel that energy and it be captivating in that stadium, man, it was super electric, super special. I'll never forget it.
What's the goals for next year?
You know, it's the bowl. You know, when you come this close,
right. Now
that's how it goes.
Do you feel, because you have seasoned guys, it's a young team, but you still have some seasoned veterans on there, that now the young guys are seeing what it takes, what the sacrifices you have to make to get to the Super Bowl?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I genuinely feel like we have all the pieces. I think when it comes to next year, it's just going to be a matter of, can we come hungrier than this year?
Exactly. You got to be hungry.
We got the pieces. You know, you saw. Everybody watched that game.
Yeah. The draft picks, the front office is outstanding, bringing in all that young talent.
Absolutely. And we'll have even more young talent with another draft, obviously. You know, and Brad's been doing a great job of making sure they're bringing in guys who are culture guys. Mm-hmm. They don't care. The thing, and that's what I love about Dan and Brad, is the fact that they are not going to sacrifice talent for culture. They won't do it. They won't do
that. They won't do it.
They won't do it. They don't care how talented you are. If you're not a fit culturally for us, if you're not a guy who loves the game, if you're not a guy who loves to play for his teammates, who will sacrifice his body for teammates, if you're not a receiver that's going to block when you know the ball's not coming to you, you're not going to play for Detroit. And I think that means something. I think that's why our identity is so strong.
And also talk about Ben Johnson. We are upstate New York, so Buffalo Bills. We see the importance of a great coordinator. Ken Dorsey getting fired, Joe Brady taking over. Tell me about Ben Johnson, who's the Chicago too.
Yeah, my guy. I was with him at Penn State when he was a GA at Penn State, man.
Oh, really? Wow.
Yeah, I know Joe Brady a while, man. I'm happy for him.
How do you think he's been doing with his how do you finish the season off?
Joe?
Yeah.
I mean, you saw what he had the last 6 games, I think it was, and I think the offense looked a lot more improved. I mean, when you got a guy like Josh Allen, a quarterback who can do the special things he can do, whether it's running, whether it's making plays, whether it's extending plays, I think he just did a good job of getting them back in rhythm. I think for a guy like that, it's important to play with a rhythm. So Joe's been doing a good job. You saw him with that LSU team with Joe Burrow, 2019. Joe's been cooking up for a little bit now, so I think it's pretty cool to see him get his opportunity like this. And then speaking on Ben, I mean, we love Ben, bro. I mean, I think Ben's no secret to anybody at this point. I mean, he's been as consistent as they come. He's prepared us week in and week out. He's a super detailed guy. Teaches the game really well as a teacher in terms of being a coach. Breaks it down as simple as possibly can be with, whatever caveats we may have. But Ben's awesome. And I think when you have a culture where you got coaches who got head coaching opportunities, can go take a ton of more money somewhere else, and they look back and say, you know what? This is Detroit. I got more business I got to handle here. It stays. I think that tells you what kind of culture we got.
It's certainly does. That really does.
With Aaron's Lane. I know you're on the offensive side of the ball, but you guys got a great staff, great team, and we hope to see you. Well, we will see you next year. I believe that the schedules did come out. Detroit and Buffalo will be playing each other next year, so can't wait to see you there. Thanks so much for being on the Real Deal Sports.
Appreciate you guys, man. Appreciate you.
Thank you so much for coming on the show. How people follow you?
Hey, follow me at Jason Cabinda, man. I keep it simple, baby.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Jason, for coming on the show. Real Deal Sports Show. Like us, subscribe, and share.
Nice.
My name is Jimmy Oliver, owner of California Income.